go ahead and choose either 1 or 2, and you can fast forward to whichever one you chose, and I will have a reading for you answering the question on the screen. So for those that chose group 1, this is your reading. All right, so we got, elephant, family and nurture. The first thing I notice when I look at this elephant, he has his eyes cast down here, and it just feels like a heavy load. So maybe in some kind of family or friend connection, or just connection in general, or maybe your work, job, whatever it is. It just feels like you're carrying like a heavy burden, like you've been kind of maybe holding on to something for a long time, maybe not saying something that you've been thinking about saying or wanting to say, or maybe you've just been putting in a lot of work and not feeling like you're getting recognized or rewarded for that work or that effort that you're putting in. And so the advice here with nurture is to really take a moment to nurture yourself, because I'm noticing like these pink colors, which to me are like very heart-centered. And so it's kind of taking a moment to have like self-care days and making sure you are being looked after in the way that you need. And self-care can look like a lot of different things. Sometimes it is saying the things that you want to say. Sometimes it is taking that vacation or taking that break, or maybe it's treating yourself, but ultimately it's doing something that brings a spark of joy into your life, and something that makes your heart happy, whatever that is, no matter how small it is or how big it is. Just taking the time to like really prioritize yourself first, because you are your only responsibility in this life, no one else. Ultimately, you are responsible for you, and if you don't take care of yourself first, you can't take care of other people, right? It's the thing on the plane, like, make sure you give yourself your oxygen mask before you give it to anyone else. You have to take care of yourself, so that way you're in a position to help others and to continue to carry these heavy loads should you want to, you know but so ultimately, take care of yourself. Don't get too lost in whatever it is that you're dealing with or feeling heavy by, um, or whatever you're feeling burdened by. Like, don't let that drag you down, because you're so strong and you have so much light and so much love to offer to this world. So make sure you nurture yourself and take time for you, so that way you can continue to do that. All right, and if you chose group 2, this is your reading. You got 2 cards. You got tiger and deer. This is so interesting because the tiger and deer to me feel like pretty opposite energies, right? Like tiger is like fierce predator and deer is not that. um, and so it feels like there may be kind of like 2 sides or 2 different things going on in your life, like maybe even 2 big decisions. It's like, do I go this way, or do I choose this or that, or do I act in this way towards this person and like really set harsh boundaries and be fierce, or do I like just kind of suck it up and be, um, lean into my more compassionate and loving side? With the 2 different sides, it could also be that maybe you're in a situation where you're feeling like you're having to give all of you to something, like every single side of you is somehow involved in whatever this is, and maybe it feels a little overwhelming. But while both of these animals like seem pretty uh, contrasting, one thing I think that's really similar between both of them is they both have an element of grace, right? And how they move through the world, meaning like the tiger, when you watch it walk or hunt or whatever, it's very like graceful, like it's very sure of what it's doing, and it just feels at ease in itself in a way. And the deer, it's a different energy, but it knows when to run, it knows when to move, it knows when to stay and chill, but it's still a very graceful energy with how it moves as well. So that makes me think that whatever it is, whatever your situation is, you already know the answer, and you kind of already know how to move through this. And maybe it's just that you have like a hunch, or you're maybe not really sure, and like in your brain you're kind of going back and forth, but in your heart you kind of already know the answer. You know which way you need to go to make yourself feel the most fulfilled and the most happy in your life, or maybe in your present moment. And maybe it's a situation or a choice where like you'll have to call on more courage, and maybe it's one where you'll have to call on more compassion and gentleness. But either way, it feels like you know the answer. You just need to trust yourself. Trust yourself and stick with your decision. Follow through with it, because that's a big part of this too. Because like, yes, these are graceful animals and they know what they need to do, right, with each step, but they follow through with that action. They're not second guessing themselves. They go. Like if the deer wants to run away from something, it's running, you know. Same with the tiger. Once it decides to pounce, like that's it. So, and I'm being drawn to this persistence here. So there's just a big message here of trusting yourself and following through with your decisions, taking that first step, trusting your actions, and knowing that you know the path, you know the right way, everything will work out because you know the path. So just trust your heart. You're more in tune with yourself and the world and what needs to happen than I think maybe you realize or wanting to accept for whatever reason. But just trust yourself and know that whatever you choose, it'll turn out all right and you'll be okay, even if it's a hard decision to make. You're very supported and loved, and everything's going to work out.